Since the beginning of my videography career, I've been an extensive Freewell user. I have a lot, including the one on my lens right there, of Freewell variable ND filters. I've always been a Freewell head. I've been a Freewell fan. They are a little expensive, but in my opinion, it's kind of like one of the better quality variable or just ND filters on the market. So I have a pretty special place in my heart for the Freewell filters. That being said, I was incredibly excited when Freewell reached out and offered to send me their Freewell M2 magnetic quick swap 5-pack filter package. As someone who does lots of content creation and lots of personal projects, it's always quite annoying to have to constantly screw in, unscrew your filters to go from photo to video, and especially with a camera like the Lumix S9 that excels in both, it's sometimes incredibly inconvenient to have to do the screwing and unscrewing of lens filters. So I think Freewell aims to eliminate that hassle. Let's take a look at what's inside the case. And may I add, I'm a sucker for nice looking cases, especially rustic leather cases like this, and it's quite sturdy, so if you're dropping it and kicking it everywhere, I think it could hold its own. So to start off, we have the magnetic filter base, which goes just right on the camera lens like this. This is the only thing that screws into your lens. And this will be the magnetic base for all of your filters. Next up, we have a UV filter. So these filters just block out ultraviolet parts of sunlight. So if you're into that kind of thing, this has you covered. The next filter is a cool one. This is a CPL filter, or a polarizer filter. Essentially gets rid of like shines or glosses in your image. So take a look at my hair here and you see my hair change. This is really cool. And even the highlights on my face too kind of gets corrected and it gives it more of like a softer image. So this is something I'll probably be using more often for my personal content, or even as someone who does lots of real estate, it's great to get rid of some imperfections from the sunlight, like a gloss on the floor or on countertops. A very, very handy filter indeed. And now with that magnetic base, you just simply take your filter and drop it on, or take it off again, or drop it on again. Next, we have an ND8 filter, which is 3 stops of ND, essentially just a light pair of sunglasses for your lens. It won't be the best filter if you're shooting on an f1.8 in direct sunlight, but on a lens like this, the 2.8, this would be perfect for a sunny day and still being able to shoot at your native ISO. The next filter is the ND64 filter, and just like how it sounds, it's a little bit of a heavier filter, so you could put that on your f1.8 lenses in the sun and it'll be able to shut out the sun just a little bit more. And next, last but not least, is the ND1000 filter, which is 10 stops of ND. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I'll ever use a filter this strong unless I want to capture an incredibly detailed shot of the sun, but it's an option. And if you're a photographer who likes shooting low shutter speed, blurry images while it's still sunny out and still wanting to shoot at f2.8 or something like that, this will be a perfect filter for that. Those long exposure shots. And then we also have, to cap it all off, the lens cap. And the cool thing about this lens cap too, there's this ring that's built into it that you just pop out and take it off. Again, Freewell really wants this to be a convenient, easy experience, being able to easily take off your filters, switch over to photo mode. Also, on a side step, if you're new here, thank you so much for watching. But if you've watched the channel before, how are we liking the new setup? I have some controlled lighting, you know, more of a face-to-face sort of thing. Is it too corporate? Let me know. So a few more things about these filters. They come in thread size 67, 77, and 82 millimeters. The price of the filters. These filters will run you $250, which depending on how you look at it could be expensive, but again, you're getting Freewell quality. But if you don't want the 5-pack of filters, you could always downsize to the 3-pack of filters, which will be $149. So I really think these filters are geared towards personal content creation, where you don't really care too much about the control over your NDs. And the reason why I say that is because there is no variable ND when it comes to client work, I really like honing in on my exposure with my variable NDs, being able to do that. So not having variable NDs here may not jive well with some people, but if you're going on a trip and you want to bring a camera like the Lumix S9 that is so easy to use and excels in both photos and video, and you really want to get a shot of two things at once, you could essentially do that with this filter system. My wife and I went to Percé, Quebec last week. I was able to get the footage and photos almost simultaneously by simply having the filters on, capturing what I need to capture at proper exposure, and then taking the filters off and then snapping away for some Instagram stories or content like that. I want to thank you guys so much again for watching. Again, if you're new here, feel free to subscribe or not. That's totally fine. But I appreciate you once again for supporting this channel, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye now.